Hey, what's up, fantasy people? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, coming at you live from my garage, and this is the Fantasy Football Show. So, anyways, tonight's episode is the Week 6 Fantasy Footballing on a Budget, and so that is our waiver wire pickup show. You know, fantasy footballing on a budget because, $100 fab. I will be assigning numbers, monetary value to these people to try to tell you how much to spend on them or how much I would spend on them, plus or minus, $10 or whatever. Everybody has their different opinion, but I'll tell you mine. So anyways, first up, Kenneth Walker. I'm sure that's everybody's number one waiver wire pickup this week. So Rashad Penny is out for the season with a fractured tibia. And then Kenneth Walker came in. He's the rookie. He was getting all the preseason hype. And he went 8 for 88 with a touchdown. And I watched the game. And he looks like, a super high effort player. He never wants to go down. He's going to train out those yards. So looks like Seattle's a lot better than we thought they were. So these running back touches are actually way more valuable than we thought. So I would spend, $50. He's going to be a starting running back in the NFL. And Geno Smith is going to be his biggest competition for, touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. But Seattle's been scoring. So opportunities are there. So that's rare to get a dude off the waiver wire right now. So I'd spend a lot of your fab. Next up, I had an emergency video about this guy, Isaiah Pacheco, and then the Chiefs got down, by like 14 points immediately tonight, and they used him once and got 0 yards. It was all McKinnon, and then the good news for Isaiah Pacheco is that CEH did not look good tonight, and he did not produce much tonight, but McKinnon did. So that's one more dude, but if you know McKinnon, he's an injury waiting to happen. So CEH was kind of overperforming over his head. Maybe that's gone. Isaiah Pacheco, man, he's more of a close game. I know it got close at the end and they still didn't use him, but I think it might have just been too far gone by that point. So it's not going to happen often, but, he can be game scripted out. Now, this is a future investment, so I would still I don't think people are going to be wanting Pacheco after today, so I'd put $5 on him and just get him. But I think he's very valuable still, super valuable for later on in the season, league-winning type of stuff. Anyways, next up, Bulletproof Robinson for the Commanders. So this was his first game back from getting shot. He went 9 for 22, which is only 2.4. But Gibson went, 3 for 6. And Gibson went 3 for 33 with 4 targets. So pretty soon all that work's going to be going more towards Brian Robinson. So I thought that was encouraging for Brian Robinson to get out there, not get injured, and to get more touches, more rushing touches, whatever I'm trying to say, than Gibson right off the bat. So I'd spend $25 on Robinson if he's out there. He's really, him and Walker aren't available in my league, but they're available in a lot of leagues right now. Rashad White, 5 for 14, 3 for 28, 4 targets. Fournette had 11 targets. So, Tom Brady's throwing to the running back a lot this season. It's just the way that they're playing. Rashad White kind of has a floor because of that. He's going to be involved in the passing game every single week, but he's more of a handcuff right now. And if he ever gets there, he could be, a high-end running back 2 for you. So it's worth a stash. I would spend $15 on Rashad White. He's been one of the top waiver pickups for a while now. Let's see, if you're watching Arizona game, Eno Benjamin was finally coming through. I think he's a third-year player. He's had a lot of hype for a couple of years, but just has never really produced. This year, they said he actually looked good in preseason. He went 8 for 25 with the TD. He gets Seattle next week, who's giving up a lot of points. And Connor's got a rib issue, which could be multiple weeks. And Darrell Williams has a knee issue, which could be multiple weeks. So I really like Darrell Williams, but now it's just if it's just Eno Benjamin, try to pick him up. $15. You're going to be able to start him for a couple weeks, get a flex out of him, especially against Seattle. Reynolds, I think it's Craig Reynolds or whatever for Detroit. He went 6 for 24 and caught 3 for 68. He's kind of getting similar usage to Swift. I mean, Swift light, but he kind of is, and he was much more effective versus that like that stout run defense that New England always has. So as far as game plan and stuff, you can kind of game plan him. Jamal Williams, you can stop him, I guess, if you want to, but it seems like this Reynolds guy is really good. He was electric last year. If Swift is kind of a lingering issue, or if he comes back and then re-injures himself, I think that Reynolds could hold value near the end of the year. $5 on Reynolds, $5 on Boone. That's he went 7 for 38. He averaged over 5 yards a carry. He caught three passes for 47 yards. Denver's a mess. You got to think that they're going to figure it out by the end of the year. So, but this is mostly just picking him up just to see what it's going to be like with Latavius Murray and all that stuff. There's always a chance they give Boone a chance to be the lead back. Who knows? But I'm still in on Latavius Murray. $5 for Boone I'd spend. This dude nobody talks about, but I was watching this game. It's like D Jackson with Jonathan Taylor out. First carry of the game, I was like, who is this guy? Jackson. I had to look him up. He went 13 for 62, 4 for 29. Say this, Jonathan, I keep on wanting to say Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Say this Jonathan Taylor thing is lingering or reoccurs, whatever. I could see this guy having potential to break out. I mean, I need to do more research on him, see exactly who he is, because I have so much faith in JTT. But I would check that out, because we're getting desperate for running backs around here. That's $1. And then Jalen Warren. Najee's just not right, man. He looks good for a couple plays, and most of the plays he doesn't look good. He went 5 for 24, 4 for 39 with 5 targets. Najee had 4 targets, so right now he's even catching more passes than Najee. He looks like a more effective runner than Najee. Only problem is Najee's a first-round pick. If Najee wasn't a first-round pick, we'd be talking about this guy being the top waiver pickup because he's going to overtake the job. But they have so much invested in Najee. It's just the way it is. And I'm not talking first-round fantasy pick. I'm talking first-round, real-life pick. So, anyways, and then I saw Tevin Coleman had a good game. But I think that was just kind of garbage. He vultured that touchdown from Jeff Wilson after that long run. And then he had a bunch of garbage time because they were just dominating that game. So don't look into Tevin Coleman. All right, man, let's get through this. Wide receivers, 808. Jacoby Myers with Zappy still overperformed. I don't even know if Jacoby Myers is on your I've been talking about him every waiver show for a long time. I'm sure he's not on your waivers. But if he is, you should spend $30 and get him because he's like a consistent. I mean, he's really consistent. He's doing better than my Michael Pittman. He's doing better than my oh, no, not Sutton. That was just 1 week. But he's doing better than like Michael Pittman right now. So 7 for 111, 1 TD, 8 targets. And that's with Don't Worry Be Zappy throwing on the ball. So check that guy out. Pickens, spend $25 on Pickens. He's a star in the making. Freiermuth was out. I had Freiermuth. It sucked. I would have won this week just with with a quarter of Freiermuth. 6 for 83, 8 targets. Deontay still had 13 targets, but Pickens just seems like he has a better rapport connection. Gallup, I'd spend $25 on Pickens. Gallup, I'd spend $10 on. When Dak comes back, it's gonna be he has a chance to be the number 1 wide receiver. I mean, they have a rapport. It's just the way it is. He went 4 for 44, 5 targets. He had a 33% target share, and yeah, so he's just kind of the number 2 on this team. But it might change when, because Gallup was awesome last year with Dak. Keep an eye on that if he's on your waivers and you're desperate. And then this dude right here, man, this is like a breakout, super athletic, awesome. I don't know why nobody talks about picking up these guys. Devin Duvernay, I think his name is. $5 I'd spend. When Bateman's out, this guy's getting 5 for 54, 7 targets, 3 for 34 rushing. And this guy is so fast, and he looks, dude, this guy's jacked, man. He just boom. He does not look slight at all. So he can take a beating. And the Ravens, I love their run game with that Ricard, but they just need to run the ball more, dude. They just did not run the ball at all this last game. But yeah, Duvernay, I would pick him up. If he's a high end, that's like a volatile pick, but I think that he could, pay off big time. So anyways, and then Darius Slayton, $5 I'd spend on him. Nobody talks about him. He's got history with Daniel Jones. Big play Slay, they called him last year, year before, because he'd always get touchdowns. I've started him multiple times. I think it was like one of his first games. Oh, he's been getting, anyways, this is like his first game, like taking over things. 6 for 79, 7 targets. Keep an eye on him because he could really take over this team because everybody's out. Josh Reynolds. I spent $5 on Josh Reynolds. Amon-Ra was like on a 20 snap count, whatever I'm trying to say. So, Josh Reynolds got a lot of those targets. He got 10 targets, but he went 6 for 92. I think he might be the number 2 in this offense until, Jameson Williams comes back, who you should stash as well. I mean, he's on here. I'll just talk about him right now. Pick up Jameson Williams. Don't spend any money on him, but try to pick him up if he's still there. Rondell Moore. I spent $1 on Rondell Moore, 7 for 68, 8 targets. I think that he is safe until Hopkins comes back, and then you're going to have to see how all that shakes out. Ertz is probably the only safe guy after Hopkins comes back, just because he works the field. And then Alec Pierce, I watched that game. Pittman, so that's a wide receiver for the Colts. 8 for 81 on 9 targets. Pittman was being covered by Stephon Gilmore. But when I watched Alec Pierce, he looked like a good wide receiver. So you're going to hope that the Colts get better. The way they're shuffling around their offensive line and how they're holding everybody, and there's the rookie they had to start, does not look like that's going to happen. But, hey, man, it looks like they're going to be having to throw the ball because they're going to be coming from behind a lot. And Alec Pierce looks like a good wide receiver. I spent $1 on that Brown guy from the Commanders that, went 2 for 105, 2 touchdowns, 4 targets. That's going to go to Doxson later on. So if somebody drops Doxson, pick up Doxson if you can. Spend $10, $15, whatever you have to do to get Doxson. But until then, you might be able to start Brown if you're just going for like a best ball league or something crazy, where guys just get huge touchdowns. And then tight end, going to tight end. Hayden Hurst, $10, second week in a row with a touchdown, 6 for 53, 1 touchdown, 7 targets. That was without T. Higgins. But Hayden Hurst, man, it's tight end wasteland. He looks like he's gonna be a top 10 tight end this year. It's not saying much, but hey, 1 second, let me show you something. Come here. If you guys can't tell, she is shaking my camera, and her little paws are making all kinds of noises. So I apologize. Ugh. Her name is Tasmanian Devil, because she is the devil. Next up, Taysom Hill, $10. I just told you not to start Taysom Hill. I was like, you don't want to do that. You don't want, 1 rush for 7 yards. Then he goes, he threw 1 pass, threw a touchdown. And then he had 9 rushes for 112 yards, 3 touchdowns. So, yeah, dude, you might as well roll the dice. You might as well play the Taysom Hill card. Spend $10. If that's a ceiling, maybe he gets, a couple touchdowns and maybe another 100-yard game at the end of this year. Whatever. Tight ends suck, man. Freiermuth got out second quarter for me. And then quarterbacks. Geno Smith is really the only guy I'm looking at. He had 268 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's still running the ball, but he's been consistent. Go back. Watch that touchdown to Lockett. The pocket collapse. He stepped up and hit Lockett, dude, in the middle of the field in the end zone. He's a good quarterback. He's looking a lot better than every quarterback I start this year. So if you know anything about quarterbacks this year, especially, Trey Lance to Tua to Wentz, dude, it's so bad. It is so hard to win in this fantasy football without a quarterback. In the years past, you've been able to stream them, do whatever, but this year is just really rough. So Geno Smith might not be bad. Anyways, thank you so much. I should have said if you like and subscribe, but, I I need to start doing that in the beginning because that's what people do. But hey, if you do that, if you watch to the end and you like and subscribe, it makes us feel so good, man. Like, literally, it was like I could lose in fantasy and I feel like I won in life. If I just get one subscriber or one like, I feel so good. So thank you so much for watching this, and good luck with your waivers. It's Fantasy Footballin' Show. We're out!